Well, here we go. The time is nearly here. The 11th of... What's the date again? February, that's right. The 11th of February is when the big fish-off's going to hit. And my man, Mick Norcross, I have to say, I've come to meet him because not only is he in the first episode, but out of all the people we worked with on that project, you're probably the most helpful with
Thank you.
getting a brilliant second guest to work with you on that show in Tama. Yeah. But a lot of people, I mean, when we did Thinking Tackle the first time, you brought the honeys with you. And it's fair to say there's a few anglers out there that didn't quite see the funny side of it. But the reason I did that, I said it at the time, we were trying to open its appeal to a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to you than Towie, girls, honeys. I knew that, but the audience don't know so much about your history. So tell me a little bit about where it all started.
Yeah, so 2007 really buying into the nightclub industry. Before that, I'm an engineer by trade.
Yeah.
Or fabricator, welder, and moved on to engineering, and then moved into construction. Went on to some property developing. Got on quite well, and then I managed to buy into the Sugar Hut brand. The minute you get yourself involved with the nightclub, that's all people seem to remember you by.
But when you look around this room, I said, Mick, we must do the interview in a room that encapsulates you. Now, I'm not saying you're an old book, yeah? You're quite the opposite, but you are a man who is very homely. If you have a look around your farm and stuff, you've got your horses, but everywhere you look, there's that little touch of comfort, the koi pond.
Yeah.
But even before all the businesses and that, didn't you work on the docks or something? Is that right?
Yeah, that's my engineering company was based in the docks. I started off as apprentice coppersmith, working in a workshop environment, and then moved out to Tilbury docks, and we were doing ship repair. So yeah, that's my background: an apprenticed engineer, welder, ship repairer. And then formed my own company doing that, which I had for over 11 years, which was quite successful. I felt like I'd taken that as far as I could take it.
Yeah.
So then I went into other things, buying property, and had a reasonable property portfolio. And then the farms, I bought a couple of farms and did different things. So I always had the passion and the love for the land and farming and all things Tweed and that went with it, really.
Yeah.
And I've raised my kids really in this environment, and I love that, and they love it as well. Sitting on the tractor with me, I just take great pleasure of doing my own sort of jobs on the farm on the tractor.
Do you still get on the tractor?
Yeah,
now?
I love to get on the tractor if I've got time to do whatever's necessary out there, and whether it be cut the grass or harrow the fields or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you don't look like you sort of got the body to be a jockey, but there's a few horses out there, isn't there?
There's some big horses out there, actually. Yeah. But it's really only for the family to bring them on, because I'm not into that. I like all things equestrian because of the outdoors, but not slinging my leg over a horse. It's not my favourite thing. No. In fact, I've done very little of it. But I just like to be around it. It's.
Yeah, so, I mean, you take all that into account, the farm, the old books and you and everything else. I wouldn't have really put you as someone who would have enjoyed doing television and that. So was it weird when you got involved with all of that?
I mean, it is weird. To this day, it's weird to be behind the camera. I watched Towie for the first season and thought it was okay, because I could have gone on it to start with. And I was a bit apprehensive because I didn't know how they were going to portray Essex and the people of Essex, or my business, in fact. So I sat back and watched Kirk for the first series, being the owner of the Sugar Hut and whatever.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah, and then I came on after that as
the real owner of Sugar Hut.
Sort of. It was a good scene actually, because I think he was parked in my spot or something, and I remember swinging around, get out of my parking spot. I'm here now, or sitting at my desk or something. I can't remember. Being behind the camera for me, I struggle with it, to be honest with you. It's not natural to me. It's not where I want to be. I chose to do that for the business. I thought it was the right thing for the business to promote that. And then Towie is obviously a type of show that wants the arguments, the jeopardy and what have you. And that, I don't live my life like that. I'm looking for the easy life. When I'm doing something like this with you, or fishing, out on the lake, I'm quite comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's very different, to be honest, because we've touched on it a lot personally. Towie has sort of, on one hand, it's benefited one element of your business life, but from a personal perspective, I mean, it must have been weird to go from just sort of being a guy working to suddenly being noticed all the time. And
yeah, really weird. You know, you don't expect to be recognised. If you walk down the street and somebody shouts your name, you assume they know you because they've called out Mick, and you respond to that. And now I respond to it now still. Someone shouts out Mick, but they've never met me before. They might have seen me on the telly. And I struggle with that. And, you know, I have a young family, and I struggle with trying to, it's eased off a bit now, thankfully, but trying to live a normal life with the kids, you know, going out with them. It's a balancing act with not wanting to upset people that you might be horrible to, say, no, I don't want a picture, because I always try to oblige, you know. You know, my choice is not to be in the limelight. I enjoy my life and what I do, and I wish I was recognised for a little bit more as the person I am, as opposed to Mick who owns the Sugar Hut, because it's 2 days of my life of a night time that were open there, and I work obviously through the week in there in the daytime, but I do many other things.
But I'll stop you there. Talking of the Sugar Hut, you probably do think they probably don't. They don't even think you go in there to work. But we've got a little bit of behind the scenes footage at that very place. I used to think it was just a nightclub. There's plenty more goes on there. So just give you a little glimpse around the offices of the Sugar Hut. I've never been here before, so where are we? Where are we?
This is the famous Sugar Hut.
The famous Sugar Hut. What goes on here then? Right, come on, let's go and have a little sort of typical look round a day for Mick at work, yeah?
Monday morning, see what it's like.
Cup of tea? Come on then.
Do you want a cup of tea?
What, is that all you have on a Monday here? I thought the champagne would be popping.
That's on a Friday.
Yeah,
Can I have 2 teas, please?
Tea's good for me, mate, definitely. Let's go and sit down. It's my imaginary cup of tea. You're going to fill that space for me, aren't you? I'm shivering. There it is, look. I was just saying there was room there for a cup of tea, and here it is. Magical.
Sugar Hut tea.
Now, on a serious note, though, because people don't normally associate this place with a cafe, do they?
No, they don't. Sugar Hut Cafe is, it's a restaurant, a coffee shop by day, and restaurant by night.
We've seen from, you know, the house and everything else and the sort of life that you live, it's pretty much, you know, you're a very homely type of guy, aren't you? This building is very much like the sort of things you like, you know, antiques, you know, old things, not like you. You're a silver fox, aren't you? But you know what I mean. You love all that sort of stuff. Like, so tell us a bit about this White Hart. What this building actually was.
So previously, it was the White Hart pub, steakhouse, restaurant, whatever it was, and it's
how long ago?
ancient. I mean, there's records going back to the 1300s, like King Richard II visited here. That's where the name came from. Yeah.
Did he have table service, or did it?
It's quite interesting because you know, it used to be a coaching where the coach and horses used to stop by and fill up with their stores. It's full of history, and that's what I love. You know, I love old things. Just to, you know, I often think back what the people may have been wearing through the 13, 14, 15, 16.
Well, you dress like that now, so I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. It's really nice that you come in every day dressed like the olden times. And that's really in keeping with your personality and the things you like. I mean, you might even show us the gentleman's room, but that's very much the sort of warmy feel and everything.
Yeah, that's something that I created, but recreated. The venue used to hold the gentleman's club here in the 1700s. And I was lucky enough through the English Heritage to get some images of what used to be here, and from that we recreated a room, whether it was there or not previously, I don't know, somewhere within the building. But
sounds good though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it conjures up different ideas when people say gentleman's club, but it really is a man's club, and you know, it's just another room in the venue really that we use. But yeah, it's steeped in history. I'm really proud to own the building, and want to give something back now.
Right, we'll have this cup of tea, then we'll go and have a little look round. Cheers, mate. Right then, Mikos, this looks like a corridor.
This is the corridor. This is the hub of the business. It's the hub of the Sugar Hut, where all the promotional work and the accounting work's done, and the manager's office, and
Zorro. It's Zorro. It's Zorro. I didn't know you got Zorro working for you.
Daniel.
That's one of your sons.
That's my oldest son, Daniel.
Yeah.
He's one of the managers here.
He's not one for the limelight, is he?
He's not one for the limelight like Kirk. He doesn't want to be on television.
Family man.
Family man, yeah. Like me a granddad. So he just wants to get on with his life.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, so we have our promotions office, our accounting office, the manager's office.
Through this keyhole then.
Through this keyhole.
Come on in. Are we going to surprise them? They don't.
You've got my financial controller, Samantha, and my PA, Karen.
Hello, Karen. How are we doing? I've heard a lot about you, you know. They didn't tell me you're this beautiful.
She's a little bit
hey,
shy.
Oh, Karen.
All
bad.
And this is where the purse strings are. You can't spend any money.
Really?
You get a tick in the box off of this room. Yeah.
Hello, Sam.
The most important.
I've never seen you at work.
Yeah.
Sort of. How are you?
Fine, how
Good.
are you?
There's Buddhas everywhere. What is your thing with Buddhas?
This just keeps them calm in this room.
Yeah?
Because sometimes it's very irate in here. You know, when people try to spend money and the girls try to calm them down. I believe this keeps them calm.
People don't realise all this goes on in a nightclub, do they? They think it's all just, yeah. It's like a normal business.
It is a normal business.
Paperwork everywhere.
This is full on. Let me take you
Yeah.
to another.
Yeah, all right, let's have a look. Cool, this one looks good.
Okay.
Yeah. More Buddhas. So many Buddhas in this place, it's ridiculous. I tell you what, I'd be at home with this haircut.
And then this is our operations manager's office. I mean, this is really where it's all happening here. This is
Oh, look at this, man. Wait, it's not Christmas. Why you got that jumper on? I've stole his joke. He gave it to me earlier, so I thought I'd use it. This is Ronnie the legend. What's Ronnie's official title?
He's operations manager.
So you have to put up with all the ag of everyone, don't you?
All the ag.
Dorman.
That goes by the by.
It's not all razzmatazz though, is it?
Not all razzmatazz.
Yeah?
This is at the times when he can relax and put his jumper on, and then when he hasn't got his shoot.
I know, mate. Where's Santa Claus? I thought he wouldn't be far behind you.
He's in the bed.
Good banner. Ronnie loves it.
And then there's many other rooms around here. There's accommodation in here where people stay, and the lovely Kate, she resides here currently. And then we come into our
Surprise. He's got a surprise.
this would be the promotions office.
Hi.
Hello there. Hello there, Katie. This is through the keyhole. Cilla Black's coming through in a minute. Got surprise. Peter Andre's here to see you.
On my desk.
How are you, Kate? You all right, darling?
This is Kate. She normally has to. Can you wear this, Kate?
No.
Yeah.
What is all this, Kate? You've not been dressing up again, have you?
From Joey Essex's
How many years has Kate been here? Years, hasn't she?
time.
She was at school when she started working here. It's like you were younger than some of them monks when you started, weren't you?
5 years.
Merchandise, if you're a bride.
I didn't know you sell jelly beans, mate. Why
They're
didn't
the
you?
recovery packs, you know. You get
Yeah?
these recovery packs if you've had a heavy night. We'll have a few sweets in them.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
bet
yeah.
Kate's eating
Heavy
those.
night at Sugar Hut, no such thing. So this was us having a little look round behind the scenes because
Again, this is an office where
yeah, so you're seeing a theme here now, aren't you?
pressure rises as well, need calming down.
Yeah. You hiding?
Yeah.
Come back here, you.
That's Linda, my
What's your name,
housekeeper.
Mr. Sheen?
Really hiding on that one.
Here we go. Whoop.
Thanks,
There goes
Ian.
Jack. Bye, Kate.
Thank you.
Well, there you go. A little look round the offices. Most people do take for granted that they think, you know, it's just a matter of sitting back and raking in the millions, but you absolutely work your socks off on quite a few things, don't you? Are you happiest coming up with like business concepts and, you know, because like take the club and the restaurant and all them things out of the equation, you got, you know, you spoke about your past with property, but you got all these things happening now, haven't you? And you got
We've got lots happening. Obviously, the stuff that we want to do with the restaurant at the Sugar Hut and the bar there. Some sites that I'm developing out, which I own property-wise, which we're going to be building several houses on them. So that's something pretty big. I've also got the hotel in Leon Sea that we're developing. And the work that I'm doing around home here, we're always trying to add to it and build on it. But it's a balancing act. It's quite mind-blowing at times, but you have to try and put everything in perspective. And each day, I've got a good PA, and Sam's great financially around me and the business. We have a fairly strong team at Sugar Hut, but I probably could do with a team myself really now to move on to the next level. It always seems to be a level in life. You do something and you get somewhere, then you need to go again. And
it's like about getting the right team and then pushing on again.
Sugar Hut Liverpool's going to be something that's going to be very close. It's you know, it's no,
Come on, Liverpool!
it's no secret that we've been on the hunt for a place, and it looks like we've bottomed it out now. The deal.
Yeah, so it's a big another big project on the horizon.
And the hotel will be a year behind that, or year or two behind.
So that's the Grand at Leon Sea.
Lee, yeah.
So I can tell what the thing that makes Mick Norcross tick is always moving on. Yeah, it's always striving for the next thing.
I've never aspired to want to be rich. I've never aspired to want millions or a fancy car or whatever. I've always aspired to be successful, and that's all I can. I want to do the best that I can do. And if I've done something and it's achieved at that time what I hope it to achieve, I've then got to look at moving on.
I mean, one of your major hobbies, to be fair, has got to be is actually work. It sounds like work makes you tick, but where did fishing fit into all this? Where did you even have time for it?
I think growing up, I've always fished, mainly sea fishing to start with, because we're living so close to the river, and we used to go working in the docks as well. We always used to be on the riverbank there, fishing, and then we got into some smaller ponds that we'd go fishing on, and then the kids really got into fishing more than me, and I enjoyed going fishing with them. Yeah, eventually you do start thinking you need to carve out some time to enjoy yourself. I do try to give myself a little bit of time to go fishing, but it's time that I don't want to waste it on the bank. So I need to make sure I've got the right equipment and I'm well briefed on what to do.
So when the Big Fish Off concept was created, I thought no better man for my first guest, because when we did Thinking Tackle, you caught your PB on it, didn't you?
Yeah.
So that was an achievement, and what we wanted to show was taking people back to the roots of their fishing, really, and getting people on there who aren't the finished article fishing wise. But how do you find the fishing filming? Because you've done a couple of things now compared to doing, say, Towie. More relaxing or strenuous?
Definitely more relaxing. I would say more frustrating, because obviously you want to catch a fish while you're filming, and you only have a short time to do all of that. All these what people think that you feed up a lake and it's easy. It's not easy. Dino worked really hard trying to pull fish out of those the lakes that we were in. But yeah, it is relaxing, but it comes with its stresses. But
people don't realise, do they? We don't. It's all sort of done to order. It's like you have to stop when the cameras need to reposition, and that can be painful.
Enjoying fishing like I do and spending that short time with you in Devon there was it was enjoyable. But watching my pal Tammer pull all these out was a bit frustrating, because he'd never fished in his life. But to actually see his face when he was hooked into a fish was amazing, to be honest with you. He ended up being like a boy, going back to like, wow, Dad, what's happening to me?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was very anti-fishing, wasn't he, to start with? The cut I saw, it was entertaining. It was great to see novices fishing. I think it's a fantastic thing. I mean, I'm obviously a novice myself, but more so Tam.
And to see the banter, I think.
The banter was fantastic, and the competition from the likes of Dino, because and yourself, because
I'm not competitive. I don't know what you're on about.
but Dino's double competitive, and I
I
really felt that being with him. It's really enjoyable.
Good.
And I think it's a great show, and I'm sure everyone's going to love watching it.
Top man. Well, there you go. A little look at the man behind the man. Been supremely helpful in getting this show off the ground. A real humble character, and it's been a pleasure to get him onto the series. And cheers, Mikos. Absolutely lovely. Go on. Good. Love you, little hands.